Hey friend, welcome to the Badass is the New Black podcast, where our motto is done is better than perfect. I'm Chrissy Chin, here on a mission to help you grow your business online, turn your leads into lifelong customers, and scale to six figures and beyond so you can work less and enjoy and earn a whole lot more. Most importantly, I'm a laid-back wife, a mom, a friend who started as a peds nurse, turned network marketer, and now a serial entrepreneur. This podcast is for ambitious people with an idea, a vision, but no idea how to get there. On this podcast, I'll give actionable steps to keep you moving forward while you learn new business strategies, better systems and processes, marketing, sales, all the things you need to build and scale a blissful business that keeps your pocketbooks growing. Grab a beverage, open up your notes app, and let's get to it. Welcome to the Badass is the New Black podcast. If you're new here, welcome. If you've been listening or watching, if you're on YouTube for a while, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about shiny object syndrome, why we have it and how to avoid it. I'm Chrissy Chin, and this is season number 5, episode 26. I got an ad this morning, and it was for starting a passive income business leveraging Amazon Audible, which is the Amazon app for books, and maybe just Audible books. Anyway, not sure. I downloaded it. I started listening to a book there. And so oddly enough, now I'm getting ads for making passive income with Amazon's Audible app. So since I'm writing a book, and that will be published end of this year, 2023, I, of course, was interested. And so I, was drawn in by the ad, and I clicked on it. It piqued my interest, of course. And I'm always looking for ways to diversify and to bring in other revenue streams. Michael and I are always doing that. And so I clicked on the ad, of course, to learn more. Now, that was not on my schedule for to do today, to get sucked into listen to the masterclass, right? But, shiny object syndrome, kind of clicked on it. My curiosity from other things that I'm working on was interested. So I clicked on it, put my email in, got access to the masterclass. And it got me thinking about this shiny object syndrome and how so many of us fall victim to this so often. Right? We're definitely guilty at some point or another for falling into this shiny object syndrome. And I started thinking about when this typically happens. It happens when you're focused on something and then you see something else that you're drawn to and it pulls you away from what you're doing. And most of the time, if this happens, it's because whatever you're doing is not working. And so you're being pulled. You're like, this isn't working. Oh, this thing looks better. I'm going to be drawn over here. Maybe you aren't bringing in enough leads. Maybe people aren't purchasing. You're not making enough money. They're not buying your products or your offers. No one's signing up. People are engaging on your social posts. And you see that next amazing ad that is marketed especially for you that's feeling stuck. And it gets you to jump ship, or at least think about it. From that plan that you had in place, and you start pursuing another avenue. This is literally the killer of dreams, because if you keep jumping ship, trying different things, you'll never be able to put in enough energy and test enough to know if that one thing that you were working on, putting so much energy into, is really going to get the results, to really see the difference. And it's not your fault. The apps have worked very hard to suck you in, and the people out there putting these ads out there are incredibly good at marketing. They know what they're doing. They know what to say and how to draw you in and get you excited about what they're talking about. And many times these things are great, but is it the right time for you to shift your focus? And that's what shiny object syndrome is. It's when something gets your attention, causes you to shift and go towards something else when it's not the right time, when it's actually derailing you from your success that you're trying to accomplish right now. And so that's when it's a problem, when it's pulling you away and you're taking away attention from what you really need to be focusing on, and it's causing you to actually become less successful than more successful. Okay, so there is a time and a place sometimes to grab that next course or do that next thing. And I'm going to talk a little bit later about how to know if it is the right time. So I often find that when we fall victim to shiny object syndrome, it's because we have trouble trusting ourselves. There have been times in the past where maybe you made a decision and it was the wrong decision, and that led you to question your ability to make good decisions. Am I even capable of making good decisions for me and my business? Because gosh, my track record is not indicating that. But that's not true. That's a lie. I bet you've made many good decisions in your life. I'm going to teach you how to keep making better decisions so we don't get distracted with shiny object syndrome. And when you don't trust yourself that you've made good decisions in the past, and the path that you are following is the right one, you tend to jump towards next shiny object, right? And our brain wants to continue to validate these lies, these limiting beliefs that we have, like, ooh, I'm not very good at making decisions. I bet I've made the wrong one. Maybe this one's the right one. And we want to validate why that is. Ooh, this decision I made in the past wasn't so good. Ooh, this decision, another example. But if you find yourself catching yourself in that, let's get you out of that cycle by coming up and thinking of when are times when I actually did make good decisions for myself or for my business. And think about some of those examples, because sometimes we need to work hard to validate that, no, we are good at making decisions. Okay, so here are some ways to avoid shiny object syndrome. Set a clear goal for the year. Yes, an entire year. Okay, then set 2 to 3 goals each quarter. You can call these your big rocks, or you can call these KPIs, which are key performance indicators. These are going to be your indicators that you're performing well, right? They're the key things that you're focusing on. And of course, if you do 2 to 3 things every quarter, and you do all of those throughout the year, these things should add up to, boom, no problem. We hit the year-end goal, easy peasy, because every quarter we focused on these 2 to 3 things that were leading us to accomplish that goal. Okay, for you big ideas people out there with a million ideas and a million directions that you want to go, these are critical and crucial to stay on track and generate success in your business, because we can get distracted a lot. Squirrel brain, anyone? Anyone? Hello, that's me. Blue squirrel brain, lots of ideas, ADD, like all over the place. So I need these key performance indicators every quarter to really focus on and to not fall victim to shiny object syndrome. Okay, so ask yourself, is pursuing this new shiny object going to help me accomplish the goal that I have set for this quarter? I'm not even talking about the year. This quarter. If the answer is no, then it's not the right time to pursue that. So Claire and I this year have wanted to dive into Pinterest, to leveraging Pinterest to, make ourselves known out there, right? Whether it's just posting on Pinterest, leveraging ads through Pinterest, we've wanted to dive into it, but it was not on whatever quarter we were in, the first quarter. It was not on as our KPIs for that quarter. We had actually set it to, down the road. And we got the ad for Jenna Kutcher's Pinterest course, and I watched the masterclass and I sent it to Claire and I was like, should we do this? Should we jump in? And she's like, that's not what we're working on right now. And I'm like, you're right. That's not what we're working on right now. But do we need it for the future? And I was like, you know what? If I let us get sucked into this and we purchase it and we start going through it, that's going to take us away from what we're focusing on right now. And we need to keep focusing on what we're doing right now to reach that end goal for that quarter's goals. And we'll focus on Pinterest in the quarter that we have it assigned and dedicated to. So we said no. We almost got sucked into that shiny object. She was doing the program there. And sometimes it might make sense if she's not offering it in the quarter that we want, maybe you purchase it, but you have to set it aside and not focus on it until that time. Okay, but we decided not to, because that would just sort of be shiny object syndrome. So if the answer is no, getting sucked into this is not going to help me achieve my goal for the quarter, then it's not the right time to pursue it. The grass is always greener on the other side, but grass on another lawn takes just as much effort to make sure that it's weed free and it grows lush. Okay, so you're not just jumping to another lawn and it's fully taken care of. You have to put in the same amount of effort to get it to grow and be healthy. So the next time you feel like you're getting sucked into something else, I want you to ask yourself a few of these questions. You can ask yourself all of them if you want. Why am I drawn to this? Am I pursuing this because what I'm doing right now isn't working? If the answer is yes, then ask yourself, why isn't what I'm doing working? Is it because I need to give it more time? If you were more dedicated and you gave it more time, would it actually start working? With many things, you need to give it a solid year to really test out if it's working. And I would say if you're thinking about jumping ship to a totally different business, then you need to have given it probably 3 years. Sometimes things take longer. Ask yourself, what is it that I'm really struggling with? And what I'm doing, right now that's making me want to jump ship, to shift gears, to do something else. Is this thing going to help me with that? The thing that I'm struggling with? Or will I have the same problems? Am I just thinking the grass is greener on the other side? Oh, that's going to be the magical button that I need to press and everything's going to magically happen for me. No, it's going to take work still. So is that thing that you're drawn to, that you're pursuing, going to actually help you with the thing that you're struggling with right now? If you are struggling to find leads and you've been testing out the strategy that you have in place for, 3 months and have made some tweaks and tested it for another 3 months and made some tweaks, maybe it's time to purchase that course on lead generating if what you're doing is not working. If you're 3 weeks in and you're testing this lead strategy and you're like, I'm not seeing any leads, I got to buy the next course. That's not the answer. Okay, so keep asking yourself these questions. Or someone out there that keeps changing their offer. They launch a workshop and they don't see results. And so then they decide, I'm going to do a course. So they spend all their time and energy creating a course and they don't see results. They're like, must need a mastermind. And they don't see results. They're constantly doing and creating and changing to get that overnight success, when the reality is the whole time they were having a problem getting leads. And if you have a problem getting leads for your workshop, you're going to have a problem getting leads for your course, and you're going to have a problem getting leads for your mastermind. The offer wasn't the problem. Okay, it was getting people to it. So don't just switch to that next thing. I see this often in network marketing. People want to switch companies. Right? I'm struggling in my business. I'm not getting new customers. I'm not getting, people to join in on this business. So I'm just going to jump to that next company and everything's going to be magical. No, it's the same business. Figure out what you're struggling with. If you can't figure it out in the company that you're in, chances are you're not going to be able to figure it out in the company that you move to. If you're strictly switching because you actually love those products more, or you like the compensation plan more, and you've really done your research, maybe that's a reason to switch. But certainly not because you can't find the customers and you can't find the brand partners. Okay? The new company is not going to change that for you. So another thing to ask yourself is this fear-based? Am I drawn to this new thing or wanting to change directions because I'm fearful that what I'm doing right now is actually not going to work? And I don't want to put in more time and energy if it's not going to work. Entrepreneurship is about taking risks. There are going to be things that you pour your energy into, maybe for a few weeks, maybe even a few months, and then it doesn't work the way you thought it was. But if you change directions every time that happens, you'll never actually be able to pour into something long enough to really see it become successful. Because this is about testing and gathering data and making tweaks to improve it. Not testing, giving it 3 weeks, realizing it's not generating the $1 million that you wanted, and then being like, go in a whole other direction here. Okay? Not always the answer. I had a student recently that wanted to change her whole offer, but we realized that it was fear-based. It was a fear that people weren't going to sign up, that there wasn't enough people in the marketplace to buy this offer. And so she wanted to change it. But the reality is that she invested her time and energy halfway through it. And really, it wasn't the new offer. We needed to get to this core that was the fear behind. Because if she had that fear about this offer, guarantee a month down the road, she's going to have the same fear about her next offer. And she's going to be in this constant cycle of creating a new offer, a new offer, a new offer before she really launches it. So we have to dig deep into its fear-based, identifying, and that's the growth part of entrepreneurship. Being able to learn more about yourself and face the hard things, our shadows that like, oh my gosh, this is fear. This is fear coming up. This is why I want to jump to something else, is I'm actually scared about this thing. What am I scared about and why am I scared about it? Instead of jumping to new shiny object, let's learn more about ourselves. Let's become better entrepreneurs because of it, and not just jump ship, but learn how we can be better. Learn why that fear is coming up and how to overcome that. Okay. And then one of the last questions I would ask yourself is this the right time to dive into something else? Because the second you start focusing your energy on something else, you're going to lose momentum with what you're doing over here. So if you're still working on getting your business going, launching your offer, building up a solid system to bring in leads and sell them and then sell them more things, if you don't have that fully set up and running and operating, then it's not the right time to change directions, to jump ship and follow the next shiny object. Okay? If your business is set up, if your offers are created, if you have your funnels in place and you've tested them and they're working, then maybe that is the right time to seek out that next opportunity, to start that business with your Amazon Audibles. Okay? Asking yourself these questions before you just jump ship is the smartest thing that you can do as an entrepreneur. Especially if you're someone who gets easily excited and has squirrel brain and ADD and you want to just jump to the next thing to get all these ideas out. Let's take one. Let's get focused. Let's set a year plan. Let's break that down into quarters with 2 to 3 things that you're focusing on each quarter to reach that goal. And if something comes along your way and it's not going to help you accomplish that goal that you have in that moment, then we need to set it aside and get rid of that. I used to operate from this mentality of like, oh gosh, but it's coming to me now. It has to happen now. If I don't do it now, then I'm not going to be able to leverage this. It's not going to be able to benefit me as much than if I do it in 6 months. And over the last 2 years, I've been working really, really hard to apply what I've been teaching today. And if it's not gonna help accomplish the goals that we have set right now, then I push it aside and I wait. And every time over the last 2 years, I have noticed that those things that came up that I didn't jump on right then come up later when the time is right. Or we tackle them later and have so much more success with them because now we are able to focus that entire quarter on accomplishing that goal as opposed to trying to do 5 things at once. Okay, you don't want to launch a new quiz funnel and launch ads for this other thing and launch, all of these things at the same time. There's no way you can focus on it. Okay, pick one thing, stick with it, don't get distracted, put the horse blinders on, and just keep moving in your lane. And keep listening every week to this podcast so you can get tips, actionable tips to work more efficiently in your business to generate success quicker. And if you feel like you're constantly looking for that next thing because you're always so busy and you're looking for the next easy button, then I do want you to hit the easy button and download 50 things that you can automate or hire out in your business. Hey, use this list. This is something that I offered just exclusively to a community that I had in the past. And I was like, you know what? I need to bring that back and I need to offer it out to you because it's an incredible list. 50 things. And it's broken down into things that you can automate in your business to help you work more efficiently and simple things that you could hire out to remove more from your plate so that you can focus on the things that really matter. Okay, make it your mission to get a few of these. Basically go through the list and maybe cross off the things that you've already done. Like, okay, I'm doing that. Ooh, that looks interesting. Get through the whole list, cross off all the things that you already are doing, And then pick 2 to 3 things, kind of depending how big they are, and circle them and be like, okay, this is what I want to focus on. This is what is going to get me to that next step in my journey. Circle them and make those maybe your key performance indicators on getting those done in the next quarter, and make it your mission to get it done. Again, put those horse blinders on. Don't get distracted. Stay in your lane. All right, to grab that checklist or the list of 50 things that you can automate or hire out in your business, go to www.thechristychin.com/automate, and I will drop that list right into your inbox. All right, that's it. We'll see you next week. Bye. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you got some value out of this episode, I would love some support. And the best way to do that, so I can keep showering you with loads of actionable tips, is to hit that subscribe button. Leave a review or a comment if you're on YouTube, and share this podcast with a friend. And when you share it with a friend on social, please tag me so I can reshare your share in my stories. It's been an absolute pleasure hanging out. I appreciate the heck out of you for showing up. And now it's time for you to take imperfect action so you can work less and enjoy and earn a whole lot more.